Alright, hello everyone and welcome back. Now you can see since the last update that I've done all the PIR boards all in between, so hopefully that should keep the floor nice and warm, but we're going to have another floor heating system, a wet one in here anyway, but this is just to stop any cold air, meeting warm air, all that sort of stuff, guys. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm setting up for all the outside walls now. So exactly the same system of how I set out for all the joists, so just by using a rod, but this time I had to alter it a little bit just to pick up some doubles of where this run of the wall would meet. So what I mean is, you can see I've got my outside one on here, which allows for the step outside. So there's a ground screw right here, but I've allowed for that for a little bit more, so I think I've allowed for 45, the same thickness as this. So then whatever thickness of the wall is, which in my case is 6 inch, but these are between 145 and 147, I've come from the outer edge here to 147, and I'll just show you, okay, which will come to there. All right, so it comes to this edge here. So what this will do, this will not only pick up these two timbers here, will bolt through into this run going all the way down there, but then this will pick up your plasterboard. All right, now some people just turn them on edge. So what I mean by that is the orientation of this, you just flip it around 90 and have it on the internal face, which picks up everything like that, but I just like to double them up here, and then I've gone 400 increments from back here, so 400 centers. You can see my pencil line down there, 400 centers all the way along and all the way down to the end. Now in the center, because don't forget you're going to be working center for your roof. In my case, because I've gone 5 meters from that point to that point, I've just rounded it all up, it's 2.5 meters to the center. So what I've done is that I've gone 2.5 to the center of a double. All right, so that will just pick up a little bit of the weight of the roof. All right, so when the ridge comes all the way through, there'll be a slot out of the triangular section of the stud work. So what I mean by triangle, so if you can imagine, here's your first wall, okay, which is a rectangle in this case. Then you have your upper wall, which will start up here. You've got your plate, and then you come up here, and then there'll be a little slot for the ridge to sit through, and then it'll come around like that, okay, and then you have all your studs in between, and the same down here, and then your double down here. So there'll be another one this side like that, and another one that side like that. All right, so this is what I'm going to do now. I'll put one in that end, one in that end, and then I'll put the double in between there, and then I will just tip this up, okay, and then put some braces on it, some triangular braces coming down from this point to the side here, and the same the other side. Get it dead plumb both sides, and then what I'll do all the infilling afterwards. There's going to be a little bit of sag because it's quite a long run, okay, within 2.5 you have a little bit of sag, and because I'm cutting all these timbers the same size, it will just push the plate up dead true, dead flat all the way through. Alright, now that bit's done, we're going to lift it up and get it into position. Let's just hope I don't fall down, make myself look like a right idiot on camera. I won't be doing that. Alright, now we just need to move it to the acquired location. So in my case, because of all the ground screws, it needs to be 30mm. Alright guys, so 30mm away from the ring beam at the bottom. One in there and the double. Okay. That's it. Smack on 30. There we have it. So head height. The head height through here I've worked out to 2.422, so 2.422. So what that allows for is the 22mm chipboard that's going to go all over the floor. All right, all the way through. So then when I come to put standard sheets of plasterboard on there, which is 2.4 by 1.2, it will just sit right at the top. So we go flush with the top there, because there's going to be another plate on top. You can't see it on the camera, but trust me, there'll be another plate on top for the triangle. So it's 2.422, which is smack on what I want. Okay, so the next step now is just to cut all of them, yeah, all the way through, and then fill it and get it nice and plumb. Right guys, you can see that I've started to get these all infilled now. So I don't know if you've seen any of my previous videos on how I've made stud work, but what you need to do is on the outside face, make sure the crown of the timber, if there is any crown in it, so it's cupping like this, make sure it's all the same side. You can have it on the inside, you can have it on the outside, but I always prefer to put it on the outside. Okay guys, so make sure all the way through your run that all the crowns in the timber, which are exaggerated like that, you can just put a mark on your timber if you need to, just like that, so you know which way you need to put the timbers around. Or you can put an X, it's up to you, or top, bottom, whatever you want to do. But this is what you got to do all the way through guys. So now I put a brace here to keep it level that side. I will put another brace down that side, but I'm not going to do that yet, and I've tied in a 45° up to that side. Once I got it all infilled, I'll then put another brace down there and another brace going the opposite way down there. But now that'll be 2.422 all the way to the bottom, and that allows for a 22mm chipboard once it goes down. But I won't be able to fit the chipboard because it's quite cold now. I mean, this morning it was like 3 degrees. This was like an ice rink across here. I'll just have to get it all infilled, get the roof done, and then come back to this afterwards, because you can't install the caber deck material, so the chipboard sheets, when everything's wet. It's got to be dry. So in the end, and then once it's dry in there, then we'll put the caber deck stuff down. Or if it's still dry and there's nothing coming in through the front elevation here, then I might just leave this section open and then just go, or loads of series of studs through, so at least I get the roof plate on and then get the roof on, and then there's easy access to get up inside to lay the floor, rather than having to walk through from this access here, because that's where there's going to be a door leading into the lounge, coming all the way through to here to start off wherever I want to start off with the sheets. It's going to be an absolute pain. So always have a little think a couple of steps ahead, just make life easier for yourself. So now guys, it's just a matter of infilling the rest. So I think there's another 9 timbers to go in there, And then we're going to do the other elevation once we know exactly where the windows are going, and that rear elevation once we know where all the windows and stuff are going in there. Right guys, that's it for today. We got majority of this left hand elevation all up, and I've got it temporary braced with 45 and temporary brace down there, temporary brace down there, and look, it's not going anywhere. I'd probably brace it a lot more if I had the OSB on the front, but I won't be doing that until it's up anyway. I'm going to be doing all the walls once we decided on how big the windows are and where they're going, and then where the front door is going. But it's going to go down, I know it's down on the right hand elevation on the front, but until we decide, that's basically it for now. So you can see there will be 400mm increments. There's another 2 to go in here, another one here, another one here, another one here, and another 2 on the end there. All right, welcome back everyone to another day here on this garden room job. So I'm just going to be carrying on from yesterday, infilling all the uprights on the stud work down that elevation, just down there. And then afterwards I'm going to do probably this rear elevation, and then start doing the other elevation, the long run down this back wall. Right now everybody, now I've got the main studs in. Now what I've done is marked out the centre of where these noggins are going. So I've allowed for the chipboard floor, which is 22mm, because remember the overall height from the top of the plate to the bottom, and allowing for the chipboard is 2422. Okay, which is that exactly what that is. So when you allow for the chipboard, obviously there's 22mm to add on. So I've gone 1222, okay, and then gone up again 22.5. So this represents the top side of your noggin. So what I'll do next is that I'll go along, because I've strung a chalk line through here. I'll just show you. You might not be able to see it because of the glare of the sun, but there's a chalk line there, look, and it's strung all the way through the run of this stud wall here. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go along and square off both sides, and then I'll just mark an X, exactly like when you're setting out your joists. All right, so it's just mark which side you want the noggin to go. You can stagger them if you want, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to have a lovely straight run all the way through. So you get that run done, and then I'll move on to the next wall, and I'm actually going to go down to the other end and do that one, only because we don't know exactly where the window is going to go for the bathroom in here. So in this corner here there will be a bathroom somewhere, so what I'm going to have to do is probably add in another stud, or just put a series of noggins in to pick up another wall coming across here, and wherever it finishes, it's probably going to finish in line with the 3-metre wall, which you've seen on another video. So this is the partitional wall, the break up from the bedroom and the bathroom, and that's going to be the living space. Okay, so like I said, I'll just go along with the square and just mark them on both sides, mark an X on there, and then take it from there. And now, because all the studs, apart from the ones on the ends, they will be 400mm spacings. So 400, 800, 1200, all the way through. These noggins will be exactly the same size. So once you got one lovely dead true, dead plumb, then I'll just fix in this one, which is going to be the main one for working out the 400 centres. Okay, then you can just get every single one dead true and dead plumb, and there's no need to measure every single time. All right. Now I've already got some offcuts from the lengths here, as I had them cut, or these timbers were 5.4, so it worked out absolutely perfect for the size of a noggin, because these timbers aren't over 2.7 meters, they're 2.332 in between the head plates of the top bit that goes laterally all the way across, and the same for the sole plate at the bottom. It works out at 2.332. So it means that you've got like a 400mm offcut, and these in centre are like 355 or 353, something like that. So I've got all my noggins that I need there. Right now guys, now I'm going to start doing the other gable end of this build down here. I'm going to show you exactly how I set it out. So first things first, just make square off your ends. And I'll just do that with a saw quick. If I haven't shown you how to use a skill saw and just cut your ends off square really quick, it's just a matter of using a speed square, sitting on there, hold it up tight, and let the guide follow it. Now, you already know that the run on that opposite side, which I've just done, is 5 meters. So, and we know that the overall base of the build, so where all the joists are, the ring beam, we know that that is perfectly square. So, from that, we can just measure back and just make it all the same. 5 meters. Same on the other one. 5 meters. Square it across and we'll cut them off. Okay, saw. Right. Let's move this one. That's it. Right. Now what I like to do is just make sure if there's any crowns in the timber, I like them put them both the same way. So when you lift the wall up, it will all match in together. So it's that way and that's that way. Okay. So the crowns are going all the same direction. So this represents the end of the wall, that represents the double, and then you've got the thickness of our wall, which is 147. Okay, so it sits on there like that. So this would be the return wall. So if you can imagine, this is a box, a square or rectangle. This is a rectangle. We can then put another piece, once this stud goes on there like that, look. Yeah, so it goes on there like that, and then you can fix through here with a mechanical fixing into the two, and it bolts it together, and you can do it against the one on the end as well. So if you imagine there's another one where the clamp is, you can get one up there as well. So that helps tie it all in together. Some people like to do it that way and tie it through like that, but I know I'm using the two timbers in there, but I like to do it that way anyway. Okay, you can do it whichever way you want. So now next thing is, because that represents the outs or the inside of the wall, so this is a new stud to pick up plasterboard, you got to come 400mm to the center of a stud, okay, which is there. But then to make sure it all falls into 400 centers, you come back or go forward from this point here 22.5mm, which is half the thickness of these C24's 6x2s. Okay, so now you can just measure 400mm all the way down until you get to the end, and it'll all work out right to 400mm centers. Okay, so you just have to take my word for it. Now, you can use a rod if you want, but my two pieces of batten broke, so I have to do this all by hand, unfortunately. So I have to measure it all again, but doesn't matter. Okay, so remember, 400mm centers from the line, not from the center. Okay, because you've come back that 22mm. So 4.2 minus 400 is 3.8. 3.4. Remember, whichever way you've gone on the line, you've got to mark the X on that side. Okay, so 3.4, 3 meters, 2.6, 2.2, 1.8, 1.4, 1 meter, 600 and 200. Okay. Alright, we're doing the same coming off the other wall. Let me turn the camera around so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so you've got 45mm thick plates on the end, or studs, and they need to come 145, 147, whatever it is, to that edge, remember? And then you need to add on another stud. Simple, okay guys? Alright, I just need to measure back 90, remember? Okay, so it's 147. There's 90. Okay, so they should be both the same on each end. Yep. Yep, that's it. Well, you saw that was a bit of a struggle by myself, but managed to get it up there okay. So now I'm going to start doing a little bit of infilling, probably do the two ends, get those two on, and then pull it back so it comes dead true. It's dead true on that side, dead true down there. So what I mean is plumb, so left and right. Get that right, and then start doing the rest of the infilling, and then do all the noggins afterwards like I've done previous. I just found it's a lot easier to get it pushed over, because what you'll find is that it will, even though it's sat on there nice and true, you find that it might not be 100% square because there's no 45-degree angles on there to help keep it at 90 degrees. But to be fair, that is pretty good. It's probably about 3, maybe 5 mil out in its entire run. So in 2.4 meters, 5 millimeters out on timber is actually pretty good to be fair. So